In November 22nd in 2015, Pst Nathaniel held a worship event at the Hills of Hope Church in Nairobi. Remember, this event happened before Hallelujah Challenge in 2017. Who exploited Pst Nathaniel? GC News has uncovered truth with the facts and evidence from 2015. Explosive allegations by gospel minister Pst Nathaniel have surfaced, claiming he was hosted in Kenya and later in Ivory Coast, but was left to cater for his own travel, hotel, and hospitality expenses despite being officially invited.
So we went to Kenya with the team. I flew them there and not charging by faith. When we didn't know the people, we went by faith. We finished, no offering, no nothing. And every time that happens, I bear the brunt. Because I tell my team, I'm the one that has the revelation. Yes. You're not the one to suffer for it. So we take care of them.
And it was not just Kenya. The Ivory Coast extended a similar lack of support. Despite their tireless efforts to preach, they aimed to cover every expense themselves or out of pocket. No reimbursements, no help with the logistics, even though tickets were sold for entry to the events they were invited to.
So we're coming back from a place where we had no dime. Then we went to Côte d'Ivoire, and again by faith, and a few minutes to the time we said, sorry, there's not going to be an offering, we can't afford anymore. I told my team, we're here. I said, we're not going to minister any less. We'll fire on all cylinders. We finished from the airport, from the stadium. There was no protocol car. We found our way to the hotel room. We're about to check out, and then the hotel said, check out to where? They've not paid the hotel bill. I traveled with another Nigerian gospel music minister. She went with 11 people, I went with 9 people. So I went with 11, she went with 9, so we're 21. So this Ivory Coast, they locked us into the hotel. And this is not when I started ministry 20 years ago. This is about 3-4 years ago, before the Hallelujah Challenge. So a volunteer was crying and saw the way we were treated, said, you know what, I'll stand surety, let them go. We packed our bags, stayed outside, stopped taxis, put our monies together, went to the airport, we're about to fly. We said, you know what, let's even go, don't worry. My wife was pregnant she's sitting here, for Zoe, had a little son. And then we couldn't reach the people. She was so hurt. And for the first time, people don't know what ministers go through. My wife said, can you give me the phone to talk to them? I want to just pray for them. I said, no, honey, don't worry, you won't pray for them. So we're about to fly, and Arik Airline then went to check in. He said, where are you going to? He said, people don't have flight too. They've not paid. So we sat down at the airport. Thank God we visited the ambassador. So we called the ambassador, said, beg Arik. So anyway, they begged Arik, they took us on credit, seized our bags. So we came back, we paid all the flight tickets for our team. And I wouldn't just pay flight ticket, I would, from my finances, give every one of them. Now, that's why when you see God blessing me, don't be annoyed. So, but what then happened when we came back, I told the team, my team, my younger sister was angry, let's send them a stinker. I said, no, you send them nice message that we're praying for them. So when I told my sister that we're praying for them, I said, yes. Because I knew, because I heard the Lord. He said, I will promote you.
GCNews Hub launched a deep investigation, and what we discovered reveals a timeline that clears some major events and raises critical questions. According to the official Hallelujah Challenge website, the global worship movement began in June 2017. And according to the video from Pst Nathaniel, all these mistreatment happened before Hallelujah Challenge started.
This is not when I started ministry 20 years ago. This is about 3-4 years ago, before the Leah Challenge. So
that means any events hosted after 2017, including the widely known praise atmosphere and appearances at RCCG Solution Center Nairobi, cannot be linked to these claims. It is also important to note Pastor Nathaniel is a youth pastor at RCCG in Lagos, the same denomination present in Kenya. I think it's a branch here in Kenya. So it is indication that RCCG branch would not neglect one of its own and not cater for its expenses and also the expense for the team. Now, here we are focused on 2015 or from 2017 going back. The key moments in November 22nd in 2015, Pastor Nathaniel held a worship event at the Hills of Hope Church in Nairobi. Remember, this event happened before Hallelujah Challenge in 2017. This event was hosted by the Hills of Hope Church in Nairobi in 2015, November 22nd on Sunday. Now, before this event, he posted this on his Facebook because all the facts we have here and evidence, it is from Pastor Nathaniel's Facebook page and his social media. This is what he said. Hello Kenya, we are coming your way next month. Looking forward to an amazing worship experience with you all, hosted by the Hills of Hope Church in Nairobi. See flyer for more details. Can't wait to see you. The Son, hashtag, the Son of God is lifted high. Hashtag, this God is too good. Hashtag, Nathaniel Bessie and love song. Now, this is another post that he posted in his social media. Remember, according to the video that he posted, he said that after coming to Kenya, in that another month, the coming month, he went to Ivory Coast.
So we're coming back from a place where we had no dime. Then we went to Côte d'Ivoire, and again by faith. And a few minutes to the time, we said, sorry, there's not going to be an offering. We can't afford anymore. I told my team we're here. I said, we're not going to minister any less. We'll fire on all cylinders. We finished.
Where he also faced the same challenge. The people hosted there in Ivory Coast did not cater for expenses. Now, this is what he posted in his social media before coming to Kenya and even going to Ivory Coast. Kenya, see you in November. This was November in 2015. Ivory Coast, see you in December. In December 2015. And also he continued there, he said, Ghana, see you again in December, the same month. Then watch this space for more details. We will lift the name of Jesus all across Africa and the world over. Now, according to what we have gathered here, after coming to the event which was hosted in the Hills of Hope Church in Nairobi, Kenya, that happened on November 22nd. The next month, on December, he proceeded to Ivory Coast, of which he has also accused the people who hosted him there. They did not cater for his expenses. He said he came to Kenya, then proceeded to Ivory Coast, of where he faced the same challenge. I'm not saying that the Hills of Church is the one did all this, no, but this is what we are getting from social media. Is Pastor Nathaniel page, Facebook page. That is what we have gathered. This timeline places the controversial trip before its rise to global recognition and before Hallelujah Challenge began. Our further checks into previous Kenyan events yielded no additional records posted public. If there were other visits before 2017, they were either undocumented or not shared online. So nothing else we found on social media before 2015 or any other event within 2017 and 2015. Nothing else, only that we found there. So the big question remains: who hosted Pst Nathaniel and his team in Kenya in 2015 or from 2017 before the challenge, before the Hallelujah challenge? Who hosted him? We have seen only one person hosted him together with his team, which is the Hills of Hope Church in Nairobi. Now we have the case. We have another question here. Why were his basic needs, flights, hotel, hospitality not covered? And we are not saying, according to the facts that we are getting, the Hills of Hope Church in Nairobi is the one did all this. No, but this is the question we have. And who allowed guest minister to carry the financial burden alone? That's another question we have. GCNews Hub is not accusing any individual, church, or company. This investigation is based entirely on public available posts, specifically from Pst Nathaniel's official Facebook page. If you have more details, if you are there or know someone who was involved, come forward. We are seeking clarity. The truth matters. Like, share, tag someone who needs to see this. Let's bring light to this story. Let the facts speak. GCNews Hub, uncovering the truth, reporting with purpose. This is Stephen, GC News.